What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we have a collaboration pistol. It is between Canik and Taran Tactical Innovations. It is the Canik TTI Combat, and I cannot wait to shoot this gun. Let me put my ears on first, because that would suck shooting without ears. And this is my first shots with the gun. All right, I gotta do a second mag. It shoots really nice, so bear with me. All right, to be honest, I just went and shot about 100 rounds through this gun. It's one of those guns, once you start shooting, you really don't want to stop because it shoots extremely nice. Let me quickly thank the Elite Indoor Gun Range. They're a local country club here in Southern New England. If it wasn't for them, this video would not be happening. They have an indoor range, sporting clays cost, really nice facility, and they do have one of these in the rental bay. If you are local and you want to go check it out and shoot it now, let's get into it. Let's start with the magazines. Canik magazines are metal mags. They're made by Mekar, which is a great thing. Canik mags are normally very reliable. Very rare you hear anyone having an issue. It comes with an 18 and a 20 round magazine. That is assuming you live in a free state. But either way, mags are fine. The mag well on this gun is very aggressive, which again makes sense. This is a competition range type gun. So it's very aggressive on the inside. It's beveled very nicely, so everything is very smooth. There's no lips or anything for that magazine to get caught up on. And even though it's a very large full-size gun with a full-size grip, my hand does get locked in place from that mag well. What's even better than the mag well though is the grip texture. Canik improved the grip texture on this gun compared to some of their others, especially on the back strap. Some of the other Caniks, like the Mete series, they had like those nubs on the back, like kind of like Glock, and they were fine. It's a big gun, heavy gun, they shoot nice, no big deal, but this is a lot more of aggressive texture, especially on the front and the back strap. And again, when you're shooting, the front and the back strap is what controls the gun and the recoil, and having aggressive grip texture on the front and the back really locks the grip in place. And this thing shoots extremely nice. I'm gonna say that about a dozen more times. On the back strap, you have 3 different size back straps. If you, ladies and gentlemen, have small or large hands, you will be covered there. The magazine release is extended, but it's not too big where I rode or ever hit that mag release. Granted, I've only shot about 100 rounds at this point. It does not have different size mag releases like some of the other Caniks. It's extended, that's what you get, but it wasn't too big or caused any problems for me. The trigger guard does have a slight double undercut. Very smooth, feels good. Probably the nicest thing on the gun, or the thing I like the most, or definitely top 2, is going to be the trigger. All Caniks have very good triggers, and this one is just elevated a little bit more. It's a 90-degree trigger. It's a flat face trigger. The kind of safety shoe on there is much wider and has a lot nicer texture than most triggers as well. You come up to a very stout wall. The wall is very short. The reset is very short. That reset is also tactile and audible. This could be, I'm going off the top of my head, but it's one of the nicest polymer striker-fired guns, triggers on any gun, period. Let's take that 10-second break. You can get up close and personal and see the trigger and see what I mean, and make up your mind what you think on this trigger. What did you think about the trigger? I told you, it's really nice. I'm gonna say as of right now, it's the nicest polymer striker-fired trigger that I can think of. Anyway, the rail's a standard 1913 rail, so whatever light laser doohickey you wanna put on there, you should be good to go. The slide stop, slide release is ambi, same on both sides of the gun. If you're like me and you choose to use it as a slide release, it is very easy to use as a slide release on either side, no problems there. On both sides, you do have some texture, like a memory notch and a little spot to put either your thumb on your support hand or your trigger finger, either one. Now the slide, there's a couple things to talk about on the slide. First off, it has a Cerakote type finish, so probably going to get some good holster wear if you draw this in and out of the holster very often. The serrations are a little more aggressive than some of the other Canik pistols that have been made, and that's a good thing, not a bad thing. There's also several lightning cuts or relief cuts in the slide also. I'm thinking because it's a comped gun, they wanted to reduce the slide weight a little bit to make it run reliably with the comp. That's just my guess. Sometimes comp guns can be a little tricky with certain ammo, and they actually give you two different recoil springs, different recoil spring weights to help you run perfectly with whatever ammo you're shooting in it. Whoa, my timer's going up, I gotta shoot! The sights are excellent as well. They're very easy to push out if you don't like the sights. They are steel sights, they're not plastic, which is great. The front is one of the biggest fiber optic front sights I've ever seen. It is so easy to pick up that front sight. I shot this gun with irons just as well as I shoot guns with red dots. And for me, that's a big deal because I only shoot red dots and I'm much more familiar with them. I'd have to practice with irons a lot. So for me to shoot this just as well, I was very, very impressed. The rear sight has a ledge for one-hand manipulations if you need to do that. It has some serrations on the rear. It's a U-notched, very nice with the sights. The optic system. In the past, I've been critical on Canik's optic system, and there's a pro and a con here. There's an improvement and a con as well. So the nice thing is you can put full-size optics or larger red dots on there, like the RMR size footprint, and you can still put the RMSC optics on here as well. Some of the previous Caniks, like the Mete series, you could only put those small RMSC optics on there, and I didn't love that. The only thing I don't like is the accessory plates you need to put the optics on here are plastic. And I don't love accessory plates, and I definitely don't love plastic plates. And I went back and forth a little, like, look, this is a range gun, a competition gun. This is not a self-defense gun, but man, it shouldn't have plastic plates. It should at least be some sort of metal, preferably steel. I don't love that, but it is what it is. Now, let me show you how to disassemble the gun real quick, just so you know how to clean it and maintenance it. YouTube people, I'm not showing them anything bad. We're gonna make sure the gun is unloaded. Always, 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 that's the first step. Pull back slightly on the slide, and it's very similar to a Glock. We're gonna pull down on the takedown levers. We're gonna pull the trigger. The slide goes forward a little bit, and then it lifts right up. It doesn't go all the way off the front. You can take a look inside the frame. It looks very, very similar to most Canik guns. It might be a little different. It's been a while since I've seen a Canik frame. Now, the recoil spring is a captured steel recoil spring, not polymer, and again, it does come with two. Now the barrel. The barrel has a couple things going on for it. It has some very nice fluting on it, which is more aesthetics than anything else, but the comp is a quick disconnect comp. It does not take a threaded barrel, and it's very, very easy to take off. So if you need to clean it or do maintenance on it, there's a little tiny button or indent right on the bottom of the comp, and it comes with a whole bunch of tools, which I'll show you the case and the tools in just a second. You push in that little indent and you spin the comp to the side, and you spin it all the way as far as it could go, and then you pull it right off of the barrel. And if you look at the barrel, again, it's not threaded, so it'll be legal in a lot more states. It's a ported barrel is how they do it, and I'm gonna, after I'm done talking here, I'm gonna go shoot this without the comp on, and to see how well it works and if it works and whatnot. Anyway, you put the comp back on, you just twist it back into its original location, and taking it apart is as simple as that. Now, Canik has done stuff like this before, but it is an extremely nice carrying case. You have the TTI Combat certification from Taran Butler, and then let me adjust my camera here. And then inside here, you have a nice little cover that has Canik firearms. You have all of your typical manuals and how-to guide. Oh my goodness. So in here, let me hold this up for you so you can see. Obviously, there's a spot for the pistol that's also cut out for an optic if you put an optic on there as well. Then you have the different size grips. You have the plates. It comes with several different accessory plates. Again, they are plastic, unfortunately. The two magazines that I mentioned. This here, I was always find cool. This is actually a tool kit to work on the gun. Inside the grip has all the different screws and bits and everything you need to work on the gun. And it's a little mini Canik, and the bits go right there. And I don't know. I always thought that was clever of Canik. And it has two layers, as you can see. Now, this bottom layer has a very nice holster, perfect for competitions because it's cut away, it's adjustable for a belt, adjustable retention, fine little competition type holder. You have the punch that I was using earlier to do maintenance on the gun. You also have a brass rod to clean it. You have the recoil spring if you need to swap that out, a speed loader, and then check this out. This is probably the coolest thing thing this thing comes with. Sticking with the John Wick theme thing, it has this really nice big coin, and this is not my gun to keep, but I kind of want to keep the gold coin and see if anybody notices, because it's a nice little touch that they did that. All right, I just went and shot about another 150 rounds. That puts my total for the day around 250 rounds. We did a lot of drawing from the holster, a lot of banging steel, magazine exchanges, all different types of drills. I did as many competition-esque stuff as I could without running around. My legs really hurt from the gym, and I'm too sore to run around. So I did some static competition shooting, and I've had no problems, no issues. Again, this is part of the rental bay at the Elite Indoor Gun Range. They've had several hundred rounds through it. Again, they've had no malfunctions, no problems. The gun hasn't broke. So far, so good. A great test of a gun is putting it in a rental bay and letting the public use and abuse it. So before I go over the pros and the things I would change, let's talk about the price a little bit. I've heard some people say, oh my goodness, a Canik for 900 beans or 950 beans. You can typically get this somewhere around 900 to 950. I've heard other people say, wow, what a great deal. A gun with the Taran tactical blessing and tips and tricks on it for sub $1,000. And that's kind of the boat I'm in. I think what a great value in what you get for your money with this gun. It's the only Taran tactical competition ready gun out of the box for sub $1,000. So I think it's a really, really good deal. Like, look at all the pros. I think the biggest pro, where do I start? I'm gonna say the biggest one is the trigger. It's one of the nicest striker polymer triggers out there, hands down. The reset is just silly. I love that. The comp is done very nicely. I'm happy that it's not a threaded barrel, so it can be legal in more states. It's a quick detach, very, very easy to take on without any screws or anything. You can take it off and shoot without, like I did as well. The grip texture is probably my third favorite, significantly more aggressive, especially on the front and the back. And then all, the sights are great as well. Let me mention the sights. And then all Canik guns shoot great. They point natural, they feel good, they look good. For a budget-friendly gun, if you're looking for a good shooting gun, whether that be for competition or self-defense, Canik in general feel and shoot extremely good. Now the optic system, it has some pros and cons. I'm very happy that they let you use the smaller micro compact and the normal size, larger RMR type footprint optics, but I don't like the plastic sights. That's kind of a bummer. The plastic sights the plastic, excuse me, not the plastic sights, the plastic accessory plates for the optic. It's kind of a bummer. I wish it was metal. Another very small thing, I don't know if I want to call this a con, it's very nitpicky that I want to point out. When you have the magazine with the extended base pad, it's very easy to rip that magazine out because it sticks way out. If you have the flat magazine in there, it's very, very hard to pull it out. So if you did have any sort of malfunction and you need to rip that magazine out, it's going to be a little bit difficult. But that doesn't really bother me as much as the plastic accessory plates. The plastic accessory plates bug me a little bit more. So that's probably the only thing I would change. Again, overall though, it's a beautiful gun. If you're looking for a high value gun that's competition ready out of the box, this is a great, great choice, especially for around that 900, 950 beans. It's pretty tough to beat a precious gun like this for that price. That's pretty good. All right, before you go, let me thank the Elite Indoor Gun Range again. Without their help, this video would not be possible. Let me also thank Natchez. Natchez is the biggest supporter of the Tiberious Gib channel. If you need anything for your pew-pews and optics and camping, hunting, fishing, any of that good stuff, there's a link down you know where to Natchez. Most important, actually, before most important, I wore this shirt today, Northwoods Nobodies. These are some good dudes up in Michigan, Minnesota, and M-State up north somewhere. Anyway, they have a YouTube channel. They're very, very good dudes. I've spent a lot of time with them at shows over the years. And if you want to go look them up on YouTube or Instagram or something, I would appreciate it. And I'm sure they would as well. Now, most important, if you think I deserve it, please subscribe to the channel. By the time this video comes out, we'll probably just have hit 50,000 subs. It's going to be really, really close. We'll probably just hit 50,000 subs, which is awesome and overwhelming, and I love it. So please, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next video. Be good.